one of the first times we trained together, and he happened to bring Mark Hanlon with him, his longtime trainer. Training back at the time, surprise, and we got to bend over rows. 2 plates, 3 plates, warm up, got to 4 plates. We're doing 15 reps, 5 plates, same thing, 15 reps. We were fired up. In my mind, I was like, there's no way I'm letting this fucking guy outlift me. That's when Mark Hanlon was like, let's go, Branch, let's go. You ain't gonna let this guy beat you? There's no way. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see this, especially back. My specialty was back. They didn't know who they were fucking with, if I can say. He dropped it, boom. And you can see he exhausted everything. It was like all to get that last 16th rep and, dropping on the rack, and then the Mark, start yelling, oh, you let this guy out, do you? Fucking, what the fuck, this, that, and the other. And, in my head, I'm like, son, not everybody can do that. And he ain't letting me do nothing. He had no choice but to have me do more. That was one of the memories I have with me and Branch training in the very beginning, where, we didn't know each other hardly at all. How are you? We want to get your real response in real life, what you think about that, or what was you thinking at the time, and like you're gonna experience, like, and Mark said that to you, how do you feel? You know what I mean? Do you remember how you felt about this or whatever? That'd be good. If we can tie each thing into each other like that, individual, and tie it in, because it makes it, everything's real. Who's done that? Who's done that, Yeah, man, so he asked me about, do I remember one of the training moments with Branch, in the very beginning. I remember when Branch came and he actually brought his trainer, his longtime trainer, Mark Hanlon. I think Mark Hanlon trained him into winning the Teenage Nationals. And I think he beat Jay Cutler, actually, in that Teenage National. I don't remember what year it was, 1993 or somewhere like that.
Branch Warren was at a local gym trying to beef up for high school football when national level heavyweight Mark Hanlon spotted his potential. The only competitor with the size, shape, and cuts the judges were looking for was light heavyweight Branch Warren. And remember, when it comes to competitive bodybuilding, the teenage stars of today are the superstars of tomorrow.
I got a story about that. That's for another time when I said that, I mentioned that in front of Jay and Chris Aceto. We were in Russia. But anyway, like I said, hold on, that's for another time. Anyway, back to, one of the first times we trained together, and he happened to bring Mark Hanlon with him. Training back at the time, surprise, and we got to bend over rows. So we warmed up 2 plates, 3 plates, warm up, got to 4 plates. We're doing 15 reps. We did 5 plates, same thing, 15 reps with 6 plates. The energy that was going off in Stroud's Fitness that day, we probably could have lit up the whole block, had enough electricity in that gym probably to light up the whole block. In my mind, I was like, there's no way I'm letting this fucking guy outlift me, and how much more fun it's gonna be with his trainer with him. So his trainer know that he's not better than I am, because he can't even do what I can do, let alone, his protege. We got the 6 plates, and we're fired up, and I wrap up, get down. I did 20 reps on that one. Put it down, and that's when Mark Hanlon was like, let's go, Branch, let's go. You ain't gonna let this guy beat you? Let's go. There's no way. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see this, because not everybody can do that much weight with that many reps, especially back. My specialty was back. They didn't know who they were fucking with, if I can say. So Branch wrap up, and, I didn't doubt whether he can, lift the weight or not, but, 20 reps, I had to see this for myself. So he got down, and he ended up doing 16. I was actually right. He ended up doing 16 reps, and he dropped it, boom. And you can see he exhausted everything. It was like all to get that last 16th rep, and dropping on the rack, and then the Mark, start yelling, oh, you let this guy out, do you? Fucking, what the fuck, this, that, and the other. And in my head, I'm like, son, not everybody can do that. And he ain't let me do nothing. He had no choice but to have me do more. I think it was maybe the second, third time we've ever had trained together. And so there was that competition. You know, we had much respect for each other throughout our whole career, with that respect of, you know, pushing each other in the gym. But when we get on stage, you know, I wanted to outdo him and he wanted to outdo me. And amateur-wise, you know, I had to lead and I had the edge. But once we turned pro, I'd never beat him, you know, as a pro. So, you know what I mean? That sucks. I'll tell you that much. But I had my fun as well, you know, coming up and at least, you know, standing toe to toe for, you know, one of the guys who was the second best bodybuilder in the world, and a friend as well. So yeah, definitely a fond memory of us working together. But, you know, in those beginning times when there still was, I wouldn't say animosity, but, you know, it was that bodybuilder mentality of there's no way I'm going to admit some guy is more alpha than I was. So if I had to, you know, break one of my damn limbs off to make sure, then it was what it was, you know, and you represent, you know, where you came from. I came from New Jersey, not here in Texas. So everything that I built from New Jersey, you know, leading into and dreaming about bodybuilding and becoming a pro, you know, I was representing, and all the people that helped me get to that point, you know, I was representing. So you carry a lot of that stuff when you're hungry. You carry a lot of that stuff on your heart and in your mind to get you through some tough times, and sometimes where you think you can't, but you end up doing it anyway because of everybody in the past that's been in your life. Don't take anything for granted, and you know, use it all to succeed. Don't shy away from none of it. Use it all. Oh yeah, whole life. All day, baby. Oh yeah, love it. That's for Branch. And if it's training video, you don't do 150s for 10, y'all know who the strongest then. You don't call me the world's strongest bodybuilder for nothing, baby. Just a little bit older. Still cute though. It's one thing that unfortunately you cannot teach is intensity, you know? You know, if I could bottle that up or turn that into a class, I'll make a lot of money going around traveling. But you gotta have it in you. You gotta have that switch. You gotta have that certain thing. It's hard to explain. You have to have it and going through it to realize it. And then even then you don't know what's going on. It just clicks, you know, one day, you know, that you do have this next level switch that can turn on. And once you connect with it, you know, it never stops. You know, no matter, you get older, years go on, all that stuff, but you are who you are. And none of that stuff that's, you know, you have inside you that you may not know yet because you're too young, you know, or you never really try to tap into it. So that may be one of the reasons why that you don't know whether you have it or not, is that you never really push yourself. Maybe because you don't have a partner to push you. Maybe just, you know, just playing it safe. I don't want to get hurt, listen to the gurus and all that stuff, but you should try it, you know. Just challenge yourself, and you get some heavy weight over top of you, or in your hands, or on your back, and 9 out of 10 times the animal instinct you know, turn on, and it's fight or flight, you know what I mean? And flight means you're gonna get hurt when it comes to heavyweight. Fight means you got a fighting chance to get through it and get on the other end, and then discover you do have it deep inside. You just never tapped into it.